Welcome to our day 4 of our challenge, the mastery of being enough. And before we start today, I really would like just for a couple of minutes, whatever you do, if you are here on the live call or if you are watching, this recording, I also want you to do tuning. Don't just kind of move it, to the next part. It's so important. So let's just sit up to a nice and comfortable seating position. Your feet are grounded on the floor, your sitting bones on a chair, your shoulders relaxed. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you. You can also place one of your hands on the belly, the other one on your heart. And just simply notice first your body, especially the feet grounded to the floor, your sitting bones sitting on a support. Notice your hands. And I would like to acknowledge you just being here today and really being open-minded and curious. And really taking all the work that we will do from the place of abundance, from the place of openness, kindness, and compassion. We will do just very easy breath. We will breathe in on count of 3 and then breathe out on count of 3. We will do 8 breaths just like that. So after next exhalation, please breathe in and breathe out through the nose. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Breathing in, 2, 3. Breathing out, 2, 3. And continue just like that. Few more breaths. And after next exhalation, just relax your hands and gently open your eyes. Wonderful. So welcome. And this is what's going to happen today. I'm just so excited about this, okay? We are actually going to do practicum, meaning we will take a problem or issue and we'll a little bit try to work it, from a place of putting it what it's called the model. Now, I just would like you to know something, okay? What I have introduced yesterday as the coaching model is something that I have learned 3 years ago when I went through the certification at the Life Coach School with Brooke Castillo. And the coaching model is just a foundation for every single coach to be able to coach and help other people around. Today and yesterday, I just introduced it in very, very simple terms, okay? But it is such a helpful tool that you can use even, to coach yourself. Because in the end, actually, that's what is so beautiful. When you learn the art, how just could put the things of life in the coaching model, it can tremendously help you to resolve some very complex issues. And sometimes when you need help, you like to reach out to somebody who is a little bit more proficient, who can maybe look at the things in the model that you might not see, okay? And that's fine, because it's a process. We are playing with it. It's a process about, about awareness. So just a little review from, yesterday, what the coaching model is, so that, we can be clear what we are talking about, okay? So what I shared yesterday is this. And that is that all aspects of our lives can be categorized into 5 things. Number 1, circumstances. Number 2, thoughts. Number 3, feelings. Number 4, actions. And number 5, results. And in a nutshell, okay, circumstances are simply facts of life, okay? There are things that just we see outside, or all of us can agree on the facts, okay? That's what the circumstance is. Thoughts are simply our things in my mind, the way we think about the circumstances, okay? Feelings are vibrations in our body that originate in the thoughts that we have about certain things, about the circumstances. And actions are our behavior, what we do or we don't do because the way we feel. And the results are always showing us from the actions that we have been doing what we are creating, okay? And what is really important is that results always go back to number 2, and that is to our thoughts. So this is something that is really, really important, okay? With that, I would like to dive into just kind of, one, reply that has come as an anonymous, someone who'd like to just know how to look at this. So this is going to be helpful to all of us, because even if I coach somebody else, you will get so much, and it can be applicable to the situation that you have and can be about totally something different, okay? So this is earlier on, I got this, email and request to just see and look at it from the place of the model. I had a best friend from high school who married my brother. We are a very close-knit family, and my relationship with my brother and their kids and grandkids feel precious to me. This friend's sister-in-law felt totally betrayed when I moved from where we grew up in Maryland to my dream home in North Carolina. This is despite my regular communication and efforts to connect with her. Since then, she has been treating me poorly and now acting distant, and treated me like a distant relative at family gatherings. It has been very painful, but also eye-opening. I have learned it was not a healthy friendship, and if she was not my sister-in-law, I would say goodbye. I want to let go of the power I gave to her these many years, okay? So let's look at this, okay, from the perspective of the model and the 5 categories, 5 things, okay? So if you look at this, thing, and I should probably just kind of cover this because I started working a little bit on it, okay? What would be the circumstance here is there is only one, or a couple facts in this paragraph, okay? And everything else is just kind of the thoughts that the individual has, about the circumstance. What for a fact we know is that this person moved from Maryland to North Carolina. That's a fact, okay? That's a fact, okay? And then the second thing that is just kind of, a fact is that she has a sister-in-law, okay? So those are only 2 facts from this paragraph, okay? Everything else is the reflection of on these 2 things for that person, okay? So what I have picked is, a thought that is feeling very, very painful, as this person described that feeling as a painful. And the thought is, from the paragraph, if you look at it, it says, she has been treating me poorly and like a distant relative at family gatherings, okay? So this is a thought, okay? Even though there might be some people in her family who just says, do you know what, Olga? But people agree that she kind of, treats me that way. Okay, those might be maybe the people who are there, but there is probably someone, outside who can see it and interpret it completely in many, many, many different ways, okay? So she has been treating me poorly and like a distant relative at family gatherings, okay? So can you see how that's the reflection of just kind of, you know, simple fact, and that is that this person moved from one place to another place, and, you know, she has thoughts about her sister-in-law. Now, the feeling is painful here, okay? So when this person feels painful, how this person is showing up, you know, in the communication when these two, you know, people are together. And we can see it a little bit just kind of, you know, what's happening. Because she sees, you know, her sister-in-law as, or judges her as someone who, you know, really treats her poorly, you know, and is distant. She is showing up in a certain way, okay? And you can see here that, you know, one of the things that she says here, that this is despite my regular communications and efforts to connect with her. So we can see that this person is trying in her action, like, you know, she is trying to reach out, right? Okay, she is doing something, right? Also, she is having some other thoughts that are, you know, like, you know, I want to, if it was not my family, I would say goodbye, okay? So that's another thought that comes, you know, from the originally thought she has been treating me poorly and like a distant relative, a family gathering, okay? Probably what is happening is that, you know, when she is at the gathering, because she has this thought and it feels painful, there is probably uneasiness, I would assume, in the conversation. And, you know, I would like, you know, to, you can, because this person is, you know, here today. If you want to tell me if I'm right about it, just kind of, you know, let me know, okay? If I'm just kind of, you know, if I would be seeing both of you at some family gathering, there is probably just kind of uneasiness. There is, you know, awkwardness, you know, in a communication on each side. Am I getting it right or not? And so what is really important here is that, of course, from the place of a painful, I cannot be just, you know, opened, or I cannot be genuine. Because I already have some sort of a judgment about this person, okay? So the result that just, you know, this person is creating is she has been treating poorly herself, okay? She has been treating poorly herself, and she is the one who is distant, you know, from, you know, that relative of hers, from her sister-in-law, okay? Because we are always a mirror in our behavior of our thinking. The other person, just kind of the way we see it, is just kind of, you know, in many ways, the mirror, the way we then behave, okay? So the result is, you know, I have been treating myself poorly. And what do we mean by that? That with this judgment, I am actually not allowing myself to show up in, you know, the full power that is within me, who I truly deeply I am, okay? And I will go back just kind of, you know, to open up to the discussion. And I want to let you know that the result, you know, that she is creating is connected to just kind of, you know, the thought that she has, right? Because she is thinking, you know, okay, I moved, okay? And my sister-in-law, since I've moved, is treating me poorly and like a distant relative at family gatherings, okay? Because of that, it's very painful to me. And as an action, you know, I'm trying probably just kind of, you know, also in a way I'm showing up, it's just kind of, really distant, to her as well, right? I'm probably just, having a difficulty to strike a genuine conversation, okay? Maybe in some ways I might be even avoiding, or if I'm trying to talk, it can be just a little bit just kind of, like a forceful way to strike a conversation that it's not, cordial or genuine. So the result is that I have been really, who is treating just kind of whom poorly, is that it goes back that, I have been actually treating myself poorly. And the problem here is not that you have moved from Maryland to North Carolina, but it's the thought that you have created in your mind about the way your sister-in-law is, is showing up. Now, I don't make any judgment about the way your sister-in-law is showing up, because she has all the freedom to do whatever she wants to do. The problem is the way you are thinking about it. It makes you uncomfortable. It makes you think, maybe she's not as good friend, maybe, if she was not my relative, what I would do, I would rather just kind of, close, that relationship. So what is really happening here is that who is really suffering most is you. She probably might feel awkward too. She might have hair stories about your move, but then that's none of your business, okay? People can think anything about just kind of the fact that you have moved from one place to another place, okay? That is not of your beeswax, okay? You give them the whole permission to think the way they want to think. And also you have the full permission either just kind of, choose to think in a way that is going to be helping you to cultivate the connection, to up-level actually the connection, because there is a great opportunity. Basically what is happening is, this person, you are reacting to just the way she behaves. So, she behaves and you are the mirror of that, okay? And instead what we want to do is, can we actually raise the vortex of unconditional love in that, setting, and show up from the place of unconditional love. And regardless if the other person accepts it, or if just kind of this other person rejects it, because at the end, it is about really you, what you are thinking, how you are showing up, who you are being, okay? Because the thoughts that, are there is that, there is a judgment about the friendship, that there are thoughts coming up from the friendship in the past that make you think maybe, it was not the friend that I thought that I had. And the truth is that all of us, at the moment of who we are today, we are just doing the best the way we can show up. And the way her tools are such that, for her, for some reason, it is difficult to have someone who she might have left and had a close relationship move into the other place. And so that's her thought, that she might feel hurt. She might have thoughts, well, why did she do it? She should have stayed here. So she should do things. You should do things that she wanted you to do, right? In order for the friendship to continue. But I would suggest that this is a beautiful opportunity for you to raise the bar in your relationship, which means that it can be a phenomenal opportunity to up-level your friendship to a place that you both of us were not able actually to step into. And the only person who can just kind of, do it is the one who can raise their consciousness and can have thoughts about the circumstance that will help them to stay open. So of course, there could be many other, conversations about it, but what a beautiful, beautiful opportunity actually for you to really show up in your true identical self, who you are, regardless if she is going to accept it or not. Because again, that's none of your beeswax. You are not being nice so that she is nice. You are being nice and unconditional love because this is who you are. This is my being. I am unconditional love, regardless just kind of, what people say, how people act, how people just perceive, certain facts in the life, okay? So, yes. And this is something really, really just kind of fun. So I see that just kind of, this person is saying, this is wonderful. Thank you. Her story is none of my business. Exactly. As soon as we are just buying in somebody else's business, what they think, it's a drama. That's just like how the soap opera, starts, right? We need to stay true in our way of how we look at just kind of the circumstances, okay? I am reacting to her behavior and so important. I am mirroring. Exactly. That's the funniest thing that happens, that we actually look at the other person and the other person is exactly actually the mirror, of our thinking. So beautiful, beautiful opportunity. What a wonderful just kind of, way to look at, things. So it looks like we are complete with this one, okay? So I would like to just kind of, go to the next one, okay? If you please allow me, so here is another one that it's really, really just kind of, fun. Let me see if I can open it up. Or before I actually go, I wanted to just, let's just pause, okay? Is there anyone who would like to also add something else? Because, I think that, of course I'm a certified coach, but it doesn't mean that just other people are having really beautiful breakthrough ideas without any training. It's all about just, how we feel. So I want to just ask, even in a chat box, okay? Is there anything else that has come up as I did this just kind of, anonymous coaching? Anything that, you want to share or you want to add? So I will just kind of, I don't see anything. We can come back to it. I will continue, okay? And maybe just kind of, then you can still write things, that feel, right, to you. Okay, so I'll go to the next one, okay? Okay, so I will go to this one, okay? So I have a problem with not knowing what major to choose as a re-entry college, okay? I think I want to pursue a career as an astrologist, but I don't know what that looks like in a college major. Perhaps communications, multimedia, astronomy, psychology. This problem makes me feel icky and gives me a stomach ache. I have been practicing avoidance because I feel anxiety about it. So you can see there are tons of feelings, right? Can you pick up on those feelings that you see this person has? Icky, and as a result, stomach ache, right? That's what's showing up. That's kind of one of the results that it's happening right there. Avoiding, right? Feeling anxiety, right? So again, as you look at this, okay, look what the fact is here. So the fact here is re-entering college. Okay, that's the fact. Okay, and picking a major. Those are only two things that are as just kind of, circumstance here. All of the rest is the drama. It's the story, okay? So one of the, thoughts that just have been here mentioned is, I do not know what that looks like in a college major, okay? And when we say, I do not know what that looks like in a college major, it just kind of makes her feel anxious, okay? Okay? And when this person feel anxious, what are the things that we just kind of, see from the last sentence, okay? So she has been avoidance. That's one of the things, okay? There is probably, if I would ask, and I can actually just kind of, if this person wants to be coached, just say yes in the chat box and we can go just kind of, from there. Okay, so I pause here, okay, and I just kind of, so Tammy says that she's okay, just kind of, to coach her on that. So Tammy, if you can just come on the screen, okay, and so I want to ask you, as you just, have seen, I don't know if I can probably share and also coach, if that would be just, helpful to do that. So let me see if I can, do this. Okay, so that we are keeping, our charts for, other people there. They can see that. Okay, so, oops, I didn't want this. What happened here? Woo. Not this one. Sorry about it, guys. Okay, here, advance, this. Okay, this should kind of, show it. Okay, so, and I will see if I will ask to unmute so we can communicate, okay? So if you feel avoidance, Tammy, so you are thinking, I don't know what that looks like in a college major, and therefore I feel anxious. And because I feel anxious, I am in a place of avoidance. So tell me, what does that look like, that avoidance? Like what you are doing, just kind of, watching Netflix or eating chips, or what have you been doing? Sleeping? What do you do?
It's wild because I will have my laptop open at the website I'm supposed to be on. And every time I try to get started, I will do anything else. I will go to the bathroom, then I'll be hungry, then I'll need to take my dog for a walk, anything else. And then I will come back to it, and I just cannot get over this like hump of just getting it started. And this has been going on for 2 days, and I'm losing my mind. I'm so glad that you were here for us today.
Yes. So, yes, you can see, of course, guys, if I feel anxious and it comes from, well, I don't know what that looks like at my major, right? So it's just like there is confusion, right? I don't know. So from that place and feeling anxious, like, how can I sit at the computer and start doing something? Well, I can, she still can do it, but it's just, there is just so much of tension if there is anxiety, right? It's just like, she's probably then when she gets, well, that would be good. I ask her, well, when you then get at the computer and start doing something, what does that look like when you feel anxious? When you actually kind of start doing something, like how does that like, are you like, this is too much pulling, too many just kind of, browser is opening in 10 places and you're getting more overwhelmed and confused? What does that look like when you actually kind of sit, put your just kind of, butt on a chair and you just start doing something? What does that look when you are anxious?
Is that a question for me?
Yes, that's question for me.
What it looks like is like I've never done it before, so it's the unknown, right? It's this, I have to learn while I do it, and I could give the wrong answer or I could do the wrong thing, and that is where the anxiety comes from. So yes, I am like trying to do it step by step as it's labeled, but I just am not. That's where the avoidance comes in. I'll just do anything else because I don't know the right answers. That's where the anxiety is coming from, I think.
Right. Yes. So what it's really interesting, guys, this is for everybody, okay, who is on the call, and even guys who are watching on a recording, okay. So what do you think this person, you know, is creating by thinking, I don't know what that looks like in a college major, feeling anxious, and basically just kind of, you know, there is this, you know, action that she's kind of avoiding in any possible way. She comes to the computer and then she realizes, oh, I'm hungry, I have to eat, okay? And then when she eats, it's like, I have to now drink something. And then after she eats and drinks, then I have to go to the bathroom, okay? Oh my gosh, look at this post from my friend on just kind of Instagram. That sounds so cool. You know what I mean? So just for a second, those of you guys, you know, could you tell me in a chat box what kind of a result is Tammy creating for herself? I can, if just kind of, you know, anyone wants to just kind of, you know, guess what's going on. If you want to, you know, think about it, I just will tell you what I am seeing, you know, and that is that the result is I am stopping myself from even starting. Oh, she's a procrastinator. Oh my gosh, Anne-Marie, that's your story about Tammy. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's your story, baby. So, you know, the really kind of, you know, what's happening is, you know, this is what happening is I stop myself even from getting started. Can you see that?
Yes.
Now, Emmy says, how can you know if you don't have, let me see, how can you know if you don't have the facts about each career? Why not try a class in each? It's not the, I love these guys. You are so beautiful, okay? So Emmy, she wants to be really helpful to Tammy, right? She's telling her, well, you know, try a class, you know, and then figure it out, okay? You know, or if you don't have the facts, you know, how can you know if you don't have the facts about each career, right? So she's like, you know, I'm agreeing with that. So she's jumping in a pool with Tammy, right? The thing is, guys, is that nothing is going to change if Tammy doesn't change her thought. Okay?
Yes.
Because, you know, the problem is not that she needs to pick a major, peeps. You know, that's not the problem. The problem is all the thoughts that she has about it. And one of them is, I do not know what that looks like in a college major, okay? So now I will go and I just kind of a little bit open up the discussion. So just when you are hearing this, I don't want you to jump to the intentional model, you know, and I'm like, okay, I have to change the thoughts. I just want to know just kind of, you know, what is coming up, you know, for you, Tammy. When you hear the result that you actually, I stop myself even from starting. What is coming up to you?
Um, a relief for nailing the problem and understanding it, because this is absolutely true. And it is my thoughts on it. This is my 4th time going to college. I've never graduated. I've been to 3 different universities.
So guys, these are facts. Can you hear that? This is a
Yeah.
fact, what she's now saying. She tried to go 4 times. It's a fact. Probably we would see just kind of, you know, some application and things like that. So that's a fact, okay? Guys, listen to this because you can learn so much from somebody else who is coached, okay? So keep going. So 4
Yeah.
times you tries and you just kind of, you know, this is your 5th time? You know,
This is my 4th time.
This is your 4th time. Okay. So that's a fact.
Yeah, you're right. And the circumstances, I hold shame for not starting or for not finishing a degree yet. I'm also don't want to get myself in the same situation I got in last time, which was choosing the wrong career and wasting time and money. And so thank you. It is, I think, these thoughts that I have about circumstances, which is the past, that are freezing me.
Yeah.
Because now that I look at it, it's like fear of not wanting to repeat past mistakes
Right.
and not trusting myself. to make a good decision. Whoa.
This
Wow.
is so golden because, you realize that you are trying to step into the future from the past thinking, and the past thinking is just such a snowball of negativity, right?
Right.
In addition, I don't know what major to choose. There is just kind of, again, there is a story about just, being 3 times, trying to go 3 times into the college and having certain experiences, because who you are today, it's not comparable who you were 3, 2, 5, 10 years ago, right? And it's just so funny that we trump ourselves to being in the present and keeping ourselves stuck because we are trying to figure our next step while going into the back, into just kind of the past and looking at the things that didn't work. Okay. So it's just, like gaining awareness around it. It would be another just kind of course coaching session, just kind of to really create that bridge, like, not jump, like I know everything. Just kind of what I have to do. No, it's just kind of, being aware of it. That is just kind of the sense of an openness that it's going to help you to start just kind of, thinking about the current situation in completely a new way. We cannot create future from the past. We can only create a future from just kind of the present way of being who we are and cleaning up, having that awareness, right? Of
Yeah.
just kind of, how it is all of course, you might start something and you might change the major while you are going, like, am I giving myself permission, like, okay, I will enroll. This one makes the most sense of me. So, from your thing that you just kind of had, there were a few things like you were thinking either communications, multimedia, astronomy, psychology. Okay. So it's just basically, Tammy, when you then gain through the awareness, it's just pick one thing. It just doesn't matter from those four, just pick one thing. Okay. But the most important thing is just like, why am I doing this? Why am I just kind of, wanting to go to the college? Because, the exit, okay, or just when you finish, that can be changing during the times. There are so many people who started in one major and just finished completely with something else. I'll tell you myself, like I have PhD in education and master's in physical education. I don't do either of those, but the knowledge that it has given, because I'm a yoga therapist and I'm a life coach. What the heck? But you know what? It was just so good for me actually to go through the education because it helped me to be able to finish things. It helped me to teach about self-discipline and commitment. And it definitely gave me a wonderful way to be a great researcher, being capable to read books so that I can actually take the most out of them, So, I mean, that was for me, okay? But it's just, sometimes we make just so much of drama of it, but it's just like, okay, what does make the most sense of it? And let's roll with that. Because I know that I have all just kind of freedom to change as I go, right?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Are we complete for now? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That was awesome. I really, really love that. So there are a few kind of, things here. Okay. Okay. Wow, that's cool. 70% people don't work in their major. That's true. Look at me. Not at all. And I love that. Okay. Anyway, so one more, guys. Okay. And this one is a really, really, really cool one. I will again just, go into sharing the screen so that I can show you the context. Is this, guys, is this just kind of, fun? Can you see that how the suffering is optional? It's everything. The drama goes in the mind. Okay. So This is another one, okay, that I want to explore on. This is a beautiful one, okay, and that is, let me see, I will just kind of, okay, I will just move this. Okay, so here is something that is a little bit different. It's not a model, but we can expand on it. I a little bit just touched on it yesterday, but here is a paragraph. I think that sometimes a negative feeling can help us recognize that something is wrong and we need to take action. For example, if I feel uncomfortable after a conversation, maybe I need to clear up a misunderstanding, okay? If I feel worried about an assignment, maybe I need to do more to prepare. If I feel tired, maybe I need rest. Sometimes when something hurts, it is a signal that we need to give it rest or care. How does this fit in what you have been teaching? Beautiful, beautiful. So I want to expand on this, okay? A little bit from yesterday, okay? Because I touched on it yesterday. Of course, if I am with someone or if I am in a situation and I leave, the conversation or that space, and I feel inside that there was simply some sort of disharmony or misunderstanding, okay? Of course, I have just, absolutely 100 permission, from a place of freedom, whatever I want to do with that, okay? And I love just kind of, I do that if I feel that I have, said something that I feel like, you know what? That was not great. If I talk to my husband and we are in a conversation, I get a little bit just kind of, antsy and I say something and I realize, oh, that one's not cool, What is though important here, okay, that I want to point on is that the tendency is to hurry to fix the things from a certain just kind of a feeling, okay? So the question is, okay, is that I just kind of, have felt that there was misunderstanding, okay? And the thing is, again, it goes, okay, this person just kind of, said this, and I said that. And whatever you said, that's the circumstance, okay? Like I said, I don't agree with you, or I will make it an example, just if you can just kind of be with me. What you have said is stupid, okay? I'm sure that you didn't say anything like that, but let's just kind of pick something, okay? Now, it is a circumstance. Do you know why? Because we said that into the world. The person was there and the person has heard us saying, what you just have said is stupid, okay? It's a fact. There are other people who say, yes, I heard that. You said that, right? But the thing is, what just kind of this person think about it, okay? So this person think about it, okay. So it says, for example, if I feel uncomfortable after a conversation, maybe I need to clear up a misunderstanding. So the thing is here, the feeling that this person has uncomfortable. Okay. And there can be either maybe a guilt, feeling like I have said, something that might have hurt the other person. Now, the thing is, I don't know what the thought is because this person is not saying what the thought is. For example, I feel uncomfortable. So that's a feeling after a conversation. And maybe I need to clear up my understanding. So that's an action, right? She wants to, I need to clear up misunderstanding comes from which line? It comes from A line, right? This person, just kind of wants to do just something to fix things, okay? And it comes from this feeling of uncomfortable. So I don't know what the thought is, what I assume is, just to make an example, what you have said, is stupid. And my thought is, oops, I shouldn't have said that, okay? Okay, or it wasn't thoughtful from me. I don't know, it can be something like that, okay? You know what that thought is. But the thing is that, you know, the feeling is being uncomfortable. And from that feeling uncomfortable, one of the things is this person is hurrying to find, you know, the way how to resolve it, you know? Like, okay, I have to call, you know, I don't know what the things were, okay? Maybe I have to call, you know, and really talk to her right away about it. Or I have to stop by and drop off just kind of, you know, a dozen of cookies and apologize. Or I might ask just kind of, you know, her if she's okay and I could babysit it for her kids so that I can kind of, you know, like repay just what I have said and tell them, you know, that I'm sorry, okay? Now, what is the problem here, you know, is that if we are acting from just kind of a feeling of a guilt, we never ever are as open and again in a place of truly of our being on unconditional love that can, you know, we can fix this, okay? We can fix this, but you know, there might be still things that within us, like, yeah, like something that might be incomplete. So what I'm suggesting here is, in this situation, is to investigate the feeling, okay? And can I arrive in a feeling that does not feel as a guilt or uncomfortable, but just kind of, you know, realizing, you know what? I have, you know, this is one of the things, okay? I can arrive to a place, it's okay. I'm not perfect and it's okay to make mistakes. I mean, it can be one of the things, okay? Or it was not skillful and that's okay, you know? Because meaning that's okay, not that I'm not going to do anything, but just neutralize that circumstance with a thought that is allowing me actually to come in a place of having love for myself and also maybe forgiving myself. You know, I forgive myself for judging myself as someone who was not a thoughtful friend, because the truth is I make mistake, I'm human, and I still have capacity to love. Can you see that? What I'm just kind of, you know, suggesting and opening to, because of course this person wants to go back and just, you know, there is some sort of a feeling of restitution, but how really important it is to operate, you know, from the place of really unconditional love rather than the guilt. I hope that this makes just kind of, you know, sense, you know, to you. You know, that we can, just like in the first case that we have had with the sister-in-law, you know, and just, you know, moving from one place to another place. Again, just kind of some sort of misunderstanding and realizing, you know what? And I feel like that in my life, that actually when there is, you know, some sort of disharmony and or something doesn't just kind of get into the place that creates more harmony, what an amazing opportunity actually it is to elevate the existing relationship, or completed it, but completed it from a really place of unconditional love. I think that I was sharing, just to kind of, you know, remind you the example, as a friend of mine was, you know, saying that she has a friend who got divorced and it was awful to drop off the kids and, you know, stop by at the ex. And this person just, you know, realized, you know, I really don't want just kind of, you know, to feel the way I feel. It feels not only uncomfortable, but it's just, you know, it is really eating me inside, you know. And this person had decided that the way this person wants to show up is as what it would be like if I would show up as the best ex-husband, you know, to my ex-wife. What would that be? What, you know, what would I say? How would I communicate? What would be the way I would ask questions? How would I respond with my ex why I would say something that might sound, you know, as something negative or uncomfortable. And because just kind of he wanted to show up as the best ex-husband, and he didn't tell her, hey, I'm going to now be behaving to you as your ex-husband. But what I said was, if you remember, there was some sort of a gathering when he was invited to come, and his ex-wife was someone who was hosting the party, and she introduced him as the best ex-husband in the world. Does it mean that they live together? They are divorced, right? They don't live together. You know, the relationship was complete. But what a beautiful place, you know, this, you know, relationship was complete from, right? From just completely a place of unconditional love. And even if the ex-wife would not be just kind of, you know, introducing in the day, it doesn't matter. Because always in the end, it goes who we are, how we are showing, you know, up at the moment. What is the way of our being? And I think this is just, you know, so very important. So anything that has come up, was this helpful, guys? So, you know, of course, just kind of, you know, this is just, you know, like really creating the work within the model. You can see how beautiful it is, that what it does. It creates just such a beautiful awareness, and it doesn't matter what place, you know, of the beliefs or just your base, who you are, you come from, okay? You know, it doesn't matter just, you know, if you are a Buddhist, if you are this, if you are that, okay? What is so beautiful about that model, that you can just place it, you know, in anything that is there in front of you. You can start having that awareness, you know, because a lot of people think, you know, that just the fact, you know, that, you know, I have moved, that's the problem. That's the problem. Everything would be fine if I didn't move. But that's not the problem. It's all the drama that this person has, right? Because if the other person would say, this is so fantastic, I'm so glad you have moved, you might be thinking, oh my gosh. So there we go. She actually doesn't want me to be close. Or you myself, wonderful. Can you see how many options you have? And so I think this is what is just kind of, you know, so beautiful about this work. And I'm just so passionate about it because it is, you know, our mental health. We make so much of drama here, and it just kind of doesn't have to be. So I want to thank you guys, you know, going forward. I just want you to know that I definitely am in the creation of doing a 3-month program, you know, in 2024, where I would love to just create these opportunities, you know, for us to practice yoga, breath work, and restorative yoga and mindfulness, and really get into these places to raise our just consciousness and the way we can love and love not only other people, but also love ourselves. So, you know, I'm so grateful for each of you. Stay tuned. And those of you who have showed up today, you have a special bonus. And the special bonus that you have one free coaching session with me, okay? So reach out to me through the Facebook or through the email, and within a week or two, let's have a coaching session together, okay? So that's the deal.